Hi, it's Mike here from SupremeGadgets. Hope you're all having a great day. Now today I have a quick look at the iPhone 12 Pro. Yes, I know, in my previous video I said I wasn't going to bother with the Pro and just go with the standard iPhone 12. But after careful consideration and the fact I do like my photography, I decided to opt for the Pro instead. So here we are. This is our box, or the box as it comes in rather. So it's quite a thin box, as you can see, because it doesn't include the charger anymore, a charging block rather, and it doesn't include any headphones. Now Apple say that is because of environmental reasons. Now fair enough, a lot of people do have things like that in their household. I mean, I've got quite a few headphones and I've got tons of chargers. But if you was just buying this as a brand new phone, I think it'd be nice if Apple had actually give you the option of having a free charger and free headphone set sent along with the phone, but as an added option, and you had to actually tick them, say for instance. That would have been a good way of doing it. But never mind, as I said, I've got all the chargers and that, so it doesn't really bother me. Okay, so with the phone itself, we have this is the phone. You can see, nice slab phone. I've just got it in a case here, so I'll just take it out of the case. Right, quickly out of the case. And this is the graphite version, 128 gigabytes. So you've got the three cameras just there. You've got the flash and the LiDAR sensor. And then you've got the front facing camera at the front just there, as you can see. I've got a screen protector on this as well, which was a bit tricky to put on, as all screen protectors are, trying to get rid of the dust and the bubbles and that underneath. I think I do have a few dust bits underneath, but never mind. And then in the box itself we have a little pack here with the safety instructions, the obligatory Apple stickers, and should have the the SIM eject tool as well. So we've got that in there, the Apple sticker and the safety information, and then we've got a USB-C to lightning cable there. I'm not quite sure why they decided to put USB-C to lightning cable rather than a USB-A to lightning cable, but there you go. Maybe it's because a lot of the new Macs, for instance, come with the USB-C ports instead. So we'll just move that all to one side, and then we'll bring in my old iPhone 7 for a size comparison. So I'll bring it in over here, and there you go. Now this is the iPhone 7 Plus and the iPhone 6, iPhone 12 6.1 inch. Okay, so they are, as you can see, a little bit, the iPhone 6 is considerably smaller, but the screen is supposedly bigger because of the borders here and here on the iPhone 7 Plus. And here we have the Antutu benchmark tests. I've done them both on the iPhone 7, iPhone 7 Plus and the iPhone 12 Pro. And the iPhone 7 Plus has got 236,426 points, and the iPhone 12 Pro has got 584,519 points. So as you can see, considerably faster and more powerful than the iPhone 7. So back to the iPhone 12 Pro, it is super fast. It is really, really fast. I've noticed considerably how fast it is compared to the iPhone 12. I don't really notice the iPhone 12 Plus being slow or anything. I mean, it's still very fast and everything, even with iOS 14, but the iPhone 12 just seems so much slicker at loading up anything. It's super fast with loading up anything. It's great at multitasking. The camera is absolutely fantastic, it really is. You've got portrait mode there, normal photo mode with a wide angle, ultra wide lens, normal lens, and then the telephoto lens as well. You got 4K video. Well, I've got it on HD there, but you can have it onto 4K 60, 4K 30 or HD 60 or HD 30 as well. You got the slow motion up to 240 frames per second, time-lapse mode as well. So it is absolutely fantastic, the camera. I haven't taken a lot of pictures with it so far because I only got it yesterday afternoon, so I haven't been out really and taken photographs outside, but I did take a few nighttime shots and it's amazing. It really is for nighttime shots. This, for instance, is a view in nighttime, and it was very dark when I looked out the window, but yeah, it certainly looks really impressive, really high quality, and the light levels is amazing. It really is, and it does have a really good exposure. You can put it on a longer exposure, much longer than you could on the iPhone 7 Plus as well. So coming from the iPhone 7 Plus, what else do I notice obviously about the iPhone 12? Well, it does take a bit of getting used to, because I haven't been used to it so far, but the little notch at the top. But if you think about that as more of a status bar, and then you've got the rest of the screen here, then it doesn't really bother you at all. The other thing I wasn't sure about when I got the phone was how good the Face ID was going to be on it. And it works flawlessly. I've never had any problems with it whatsoever. Obviously I do have to go off camera with it because, or sort of, I can just do that and look over my camcorder. Does it work? Yeah, and it works. Simple as that. Face ID works flawlessly. I haven't though tried it with a mask on, because obviously if you go out shopping at the moment with COVID and that, you will have to wear a mask, and if you go to pay something with contactless, you're going to have to pay for it with your mask on and look at the screen. So that is something I'm going to try out and probably report back as well, just how good it is at recognising your face, say behind a face mask or anything like that. The screen, another thing I've noticed is with the screen is, there you go, it's asking me for Face ID, it's recognised me. The screen being OLED is super bright, and the blacks on it, when it's a black screen at night time, you don't notice any backlight bleed or anything. It's super crisp. It's absolutely fantastic compared to the iPhone 12 that you could see sort of like a little bit of light bleed behind at the side of the screen, or it's never looked totally dark and black. It is amazing. As you can see, it does have a little bit of a flicker to the screen. Actually, I've noticed that on the camcorder, but there you go, just looked over the camcorder and the Face ID works straight away. But you don't notice the flickering for the naked eye at all. So there you go, there's a quick look at the iPhone 12. I know I haven't gone into a lot of detail about it, but I just thought I'd do a quick unboxing, quick look at it. And I'll be back probably in a few weeks' time with some pictures. Go and take some lovely pictures, scenic pictures over autumn, and come back and show you those and some videos as well, and probably be videoing some of my future videos on this phone itself, because of the quality of the camera is probably a lot better than my camcorder I'm using at the moment. A small word of warning though, I bought this case, it was a relatively cheap case on Amazon. It was about £8, so okay, I haven't spent a lot on it, but it was advertised as an iPhone 12 case, and the case itself that goes around the phone feels a little bit too thin. So I think they probably designed it before the iPhone 12 was released, and it doesn't quite fit as snugly as I'd like it to be. As you can see, it's sort of protruding there a little bit and not at the top, so I can't get it to sit in the case properly at the bottom of it, and it can be a bit tricky to press sort of unmute and that at the top there as well. So it's not the best of cases. I will probably be upgrading to a better case. The actual lens, the area for the cameras is great. It fits perfectly on there, but as for it fitting properly, it doesn't fit fantastically. And the wallet case that came with it, while it sits in quite well there and you can get your good outing for your camera there, If you put any cards in here, like I do sometimes, I have my driving license here for instance, you put it and try and close it, and it doesn't actually close very well. So you can't have really many cards in here for it to close very well. So that's an idea, probably to wait maybe a few weeks until they've got the proper dimensions and everything ready before you order a case like this, because I think they haven't done a fantastic job of it, unfortunately. Unlike the case for my iPhone 7, that fits the cards in perfectly and it's super good. I've never had a problem with it, but it is only a year or so old, that case, because I upgraded it. A previous case had gone a bit wrong on it. So yes, definitely watch out for cases, I'd say, just to make sure they fit the foam properly. Maybe read some reviews on Amazon first. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all again next time. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe button so you can see my future videos. Okay, see you all again soon. Bye!